Hey, this is Diamond Jim. I'm gonna do a video for movies that I own that I hate. First up is Piranha. This is the 2010 remake. I thought it was awful. It just was unbearable to watch. I accidentally bought it by accident. I thought I was buying the original. Don't ask why. Next is A Haunting in Connecticut. I still haven't finished this movie. This movie was given to me, and I tried to watch it all the way through on so many occasions, and I cannot get to the end. If someone can tell me how this movie ends, I would appreciate it. Next, you know how big of a Halloween fan I am, so I put Halloween Resurrection or Halloween 8. This is like the internet version of Halloween, you know. This movie, for one reason, what the fuck is Buster Rhymes doing in it? You know, he did terrible music, now he's doing terrible movies. And, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis is on the cover, and she's barely in the fucking movie. I think they only did that just so you go see it or buy it or whatever. Next is another Halloween movie. Halloween, the Rob Zombie version. Some people like this. Usually those people are the emo types or whatever. I mean, I like his music, but I hate his fucking movies. And this horrible remake of one of my favorite horror, well, actually is my favorite horror movie, did a shitty ass job. He got like a little girl to play Michael as a kid, you know. And next is another Halloween movie, Halloween 2. And of course, this is the director's cut. The theatrical cut is a slight improvement, but it's still a horrible piece of shit, or piece of cow shit, which is the worst. Uh, this one has a god awful ending. Michael does not talk regardless. And you know, Rob said in the commentary that he wasn't aiming to make him the boogeyman. Well, that's sort of what he made him in the first one, right? Next is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4, The Next Generation, or The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or whatever you want to call it. Either way, this movie is a steaming pile of shit. And actually, I got it for like $2. I only got it because I had the first three. Um, I'm trying, depending on whether either this one sucks more, or the remake sucks more, or the other prequel or whatever sucks more. All three of them are awful. I don't own the other two. I refuse to own them. I won't spend not even a fucking dollar on them. Awful. Next is two movies, Bride and Seed of Chucky. Now, I actually like Child's Play 3. It's, you know, it's corny, but, you know, it's kind of fun to watch. You know, I like the first three, and that new one is fixing to come out. Curse of Chucky. It's supposed to be like a throwback to the first three, and it's it's rumored that it's going to ignore 4 and 5, which I hope. But Bride and Seed were just awful. You know, they don't even mention Andy. Hopefully in the new one they'll mention him, but they don't even mention him at all. Pretty much, Bride of Chucky takes place like a month after Child's Play 3. And, of course, you know, Child's Play 3 was set in 1998. Yeah, it came out in 1991. But Bride of Chucky actually came out in 1998, and it was just awful. I mean, giving Chucky a bride, you know, and then making it more of a comedy than a horror movie. It's basically not a horror movie. It's a gory comedy. The same goes for Seed of Chucky with it. His son, whatever, or daughter doesn't know what the fuck he is. Next, I know some people are going to disagree with me on this, but RoboCop 2. People say the third one's the worst one. No, this one's the worst one. Or at least I think it's the worst one. And, you know, except for like the last maybe 10, 15 minutes, that fight scene at the end, but all in all, the stuff before it was just not that great, you know. And the first one was a classic, and you know, I the third one's like one of my favorite bad movies. You know, kind of wish they made a fourth one. They could have redeemed themselves with that. Next is this movie goes by two titles: All Monster Attacks or Godzilla's Revenge. This is Godzilla as a kid movie, and I don't like Godzilla as a good guy. I prefer him to be a bad guy. You know, a bad guy that destroys buildings, steps on people. Not a good guy. Come on. And you know, I mean, there's some of the movies that I like where he's a good guy, but there ain't that many. This is another Godzilla movie, Terror of Mechagodzilla. I didn't like it. I know some people like it, but Godzilla doesn't show up until like the last 10 minutes. I guess it's more of a Mechagodzilla movie. I I don't think I've seen Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 1. I probably saw it like 10 years ago. I know I saw 2, which was in the second movie series. I like that one. But this one I didn't like. And a lot of people, this one kind of gets mixed. Some people like it, some people don't. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. It's Godzilla Final Wars, and I didn't like it. It's pretty much a remake of Destroy All Monsters, and I don't know, I just didn't care for this one. I guess it was made to end that series, and of course there's that new one coming out, and I can't wait for that one. But this one I just didn't like, um, mainly because all the monsters that are in it are just there and then they're gone and whatever. They could have done a better job than this. And then last on this part is Superman 3 and Superman 4. I don't like Superman 2, but I'm not including it here. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I just don't like it. Superman 3 and 4 are just awful. You know, and I like Richard Pryor. I think he's one of the funniest people ever, but he doesn't fit into a Superman movie. And in Superman 4, uh, what's there to say about that? We all know it's a horrible, horrible movie. Nothing can beat the original. And I did sort of like Superman Returns. You know, I'm sort of not looking forward to the new movie coming out next year. Also, there's supposed to be like a Justice League movie coming out. That would be interesting to see. I never really liked the Avengers. Anyway, that's the end for this part. I'll upload part 2 soon.